In my hands, I have two snare drum microphones. In my left, I have a digital reference DRST-100, and in my right, I have the Audix i5. Today, we're gonna put these on the kit and we're gonna compare them to hear how they sound against each other. Now, I am just a DIY guy. I have no formal training of any of what I've been doing. I've been doing drum covers for about 3 years now, and I just started off by buying a pack of these digital reference microphones. But as I progress, I want to get better, and I want my sound to get better. So I've upgraded to this Audix i5. I bought this from my local music store, thank you Voight Music, and this microphone was about $100, but it's got amazing reviews as a snare drum microphone. This entire 7-pack of microphones was also $100. So this one microphone was worth the entire drum set microphone starter kit. So truly, it should be an upgrade, but I want to hear the difference between the two. Now, if you're a DIY guy like me, you're watching this because you probably want to know also, is it worth the upgrade? Let's get these on the kit and let's hear how they sound. Let's go. All right, so I got the snare drum mics put on the snare drum. I've got them at the same angle, facing in right to the center of the snare drum, the exact way they'd be in a normal recording situation. What we're gonna do is 4 different scenarios. The first is gonna be the microphones with no EQ, just compared back to back. Then I'm gonna do the same comparison, but I'm gonna do some EQing for both microphones. The third, I'm actually gonna turn on the bottom snare drum mic so you can hear the snare drum in the fullness that it should be. And then the fourth is I'm gonna do some drum playing and I'm gonna switch back and forth between snare drums as I play. So let's go ahead, let's hear our first comparison, which is the 2 mics with no EQ. Now let's go ahead and hear our second comparison, which is the 2 mics with EQing. Now let's hear our third comparison, which is the 2 mics with the bottom snare drum mic mixed in so you can hear it in its fullness. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to play the drum set along with the snare drum and go back and forth between mics so you can hear the difference between the two. So what did you think? Could you hear the difference between them? Let's go ahead, let's talk about it. What are my final thoughts? To be honest, I hear the difference when I don't do any mixing. You can definitely hear the Audix is a lot cleaner sounding, and the digital reference has a lot more highs and pings in it, and the Audix gets rid of a lot of the obnoxious sounds. But once I use the same mix for both, I use the exact same mix for both, they sounded pretty much the same to me. And I'll be honest, I actually lost my mind and re-recorded. I didn't even re-record. I just went back in there and resaved all the changes because I thought I was just nuts that I didn't hear the difference. I even brought my wife downstairs and asked her to listen to the two, and she couldn't hear the difference either, which I think that's good, and it's kind of bad at the same time. Is you can get away with a lot when you do your mixing and mastering between the snare drum sounds, and to be honest, it's better, but is it worth it? For this scenario, almost not. The other pros and cons about this mic versus the other is the Audix is a bigger microphone. It takes up more space between the snare drum and the tom versus the digital reference, which is a lot smaller and compact, and it gets out of the way a lot easier actually. And the Audix really needs its own stand versus clipping it onto the mic like I have it, but it's just one of those things that I'll deal with because now I bought it, I'm going to use it. It's going to go on that kit, and I'm going to use it going forward. But it's just strange that once I mixed it, that was it for me. They sounded the same. So take it or leave it. That's what I got for you. If you got any questions or you got suggestions or what other microphones do you think we should try out or whatnot, I don't care. Throw them down in the comments below. Let's try it out. Thanks for watching. Take care.